Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I'm coming at you with the first of my series of computer peripherals for Star Citizen. I know it's specifically for Star Citizen, but anybody out there can use this for any first-person shooter game, any computer game, any game at all, really, technically. This video can go as far as any computer desk, okay? Because what this video is about, we're going to be talking about the computer desk. That's right. It's not normally considered a peripheral, but it is something you need that will make your gaming experience more comfortable, more fluid, you'll be able to get more enjoyment out of your gaming, and it'll keep everything a little bit more organized, and you might actually improve your skill level by having a good organized custom desk, because every person's different. So okay, this is the computer desk that I've been working with for quite some time. Now I'm going to pan down. Alright, this right here is my computer desk, and it's served me well for many years. But recently, in the last year or so, or actually less than that, the last 6 months or so, I've decided that I wanted to expand my monitor space. I wanted to improve my monitor coverage. Okay, 3 is the ultimate goal. This computer desk will only accommodate 2, but the reason for this video is I'm going to be creating a whole new computer desk, and you'll see it going forward. Okay, let me get this chair out of the way. You know, I guess this could also be a peripheral, but we won't talk about that. We won't worry about it, because everybody's got their own desks and their own chairs. Okay, and now in other videos we're going to talk about headsets and microphones. We're going to talk about webcams. We're going to talk about joysticks. We're going to talk about pretty much everything, keyboard, mice, everything for Star Citizen. But in this video we're going to be talking about the computer desk itself. Okay, as you can see, this desk is only 4 feet long. Okay, it's not, it's a little bit shorter than 4 feet long. Okay, and it is about 28 actually, 27 inches deep. Okay, 27 inches deep. Well, my new computer desk is going to be 30 inches deep. So there's right there, that's 3 inches. And I'm basing it on the space that I have available in my corner here. Okay, if I take a 30-inch piece of wood, butt it up against the wall there, it will come up to right about an inch past this desk. Okay, so it's going to be 30 inches deep. That's 2.5 feet. And then it's also going to be 6 feet long. I'm going to make it 6 feet long. That's right. That's right, guys. 6 feet long. If you look at my desk right now, you got the 2 monitors. Don't forget, there has to be a third monitor. I'm going to have a third monitor. It's going to be, and it's not going to be here because these are all going to be kind of shifted a little bit to the right a little bit. But there will be 3 monitors. And then the computer, which you can't barely see in the video, but there's a computer back there, large box back there, that is going to, instead of staying on the ground where it is now, it's directly in front of an air vent right there. What I'm planning on doing is elevating that, putting it basically on top of the desk. So what you're going to do is you're going to see the computer on the desk right here, up against the wall right here, and then you're going to see 3 monitors right there. Okay, now I'm going to kind of give you a general idea of how to go ahead and assemble this. I don't know if I want to bring this to you in a number of videos. I probably will. It'll probably be a series of videos, but this is the first one. And in the first one, the first thing you want to do is sketch out the ideas. Okay? You sit down and you sketch out your ideas. And what I was using was graph paper. I used a variety of different scribbles on paper. And, I spent probably 5 or 6 hours just coming up with different concepts and different ideas on how I wanted to create the desk. I looked through the, what am I going to say? I kind of, when I was at work, I looked at a bunch of other people's computer desks, and I did not see any computer desks that I liked. So I decided I was going to create my own, you know, and it's going to be super basic, super simple. And that's why I'm making this video, because if you wanted to make it yourself, boom, you could do it. I plan to make this computer desk in one day, not like a week or anything. And I'm going to have Wednesday off. Today is Monday. I am going to have Wednesday off, and I will videotape everything I do on Wednesday, and it should be finished Wednesday night. That is, or if not completely finished, at least ready for painting Wednesday night. Okay, so let's check it. Okay, so now remember, I'm going to take a sheet of MDF board, which I have right over here against the wall, and I will turn the camera so you guys can see that here in just a moment. First step is jot everything down on a plan, write it down, kind of get an idea of all the materials you're going to need, where you're going to place them, where you're going to cut them, how long they're going to be cut, you know, how many screws are you going to need, how many panels you're going to do, blah, 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 right? Okay, so that's the first thing I did. I came up with a plan. And then the next thing you do is go out and acquire the materials. Okay, now, just as a step, I am going to be repurposing this. What do they call this? A hutch. I'm going to be repurposing it. As you can see, it's got these cubbies right here, and then it's got this big open area, I guess, for a larger monitor. And originally, this would have been a shelf across here, not necessarily. I could put a varying height shelf there, which I took out so that I could put another monitor there. But what I'm planning on doing is taking this and cutting it right here, cutting it right there, cutting it right there, and using this piece here and lowering it all the way down to the table. Okay, and then when I do that, I'm going to put the monitors up top on the top of this. Okay, so that'll give me an elevated monitors off of the table. And then what I'm losing in that regard is I'm not going to have this extra space up top that I'm using as a junk drawer. Okay, that's not going to be there. Good. That's going to keep my computer desk a little bit cleaner, neater. Okay, so that stuff's going to have to go somewhere else. That's not a problem. We'll just make something else. It's not going to have a drawer. It's not going to have a retractable, you know, a hidden keyboard, and a mouse pad. I'm going to get rid of all that. It's going to sit on top of the desk when I get it finished. That's where that's going to go. And then of course the computer desk is going to go all the way up against the wall. And so there will be room for the sound, and there will be room for the computer itself on the left side, out of the way. All my gaming peripherals are going to be here, centralized, when I'm playing. Okay, because I'm planning on using track IR and 3 monitors, I just need to get my 3rd monitor, and we'll have 3 right here with a track IR, and it should be banging. Okay, now let's talk about the materials. Simple materials. Oh, we're going to talk about materials. Now I am making this cabinet out of wood, okay? And what I bought it all, every 100% of it at Lowe's, okay? So there's a little bit of advertisement out there for you at Lowe's. I bought a 3/4 inch premium MDF board, okay? It is 49 inches, so it's 1 inch more than 4 feet, and 8 foot long, so it's a 4x8. So what does that mean? I'm going to be able to cut 2 feet off of one end, bring it down to 6 feet, and then I'm going to be able to cut about 1.5 feet off of one side or the other to make it my 30 inches. So I'm going to have a lot of extra wood that I'm going to be using as support materials in the desk, and you'll see that when I'm going to construct it. Okay, down here you're going to see that I've got some 4x4s right there. 4x4s. Those 4x4s are going to be used as primary supports, the legs. There's going to be like 4 in the back, and then like 4 in the front, and you're going to, and that's going to support the body of the computer desk. That's pretty much what the computer desk is going to be. It's going to be a flat table with 8 legs, and that's it. No, it's going to have a little bit of support on it, and yeah, it's going to be very super basic. But that's really what I wanted to do. Now, down here on the floor, you'll see that I've got some 1x2s, and those 1x2s are going to be more of a trim that go around the wood to in various lengths and angles to provide bowing support for the table, so the countertop or the desktop doesn't bow down, because it's going to have a 1x2 underneath, so it's not going to want to go right. Okay, you get the idea. Even though I don't think this 3/4 inch MDF board will ever want to do that anyway, because that's what my gaming table's made out of, and I've had my gaming table for 10 years now, and that's probably only 1/2 inch MDF, and this is 3/4 inch MDF. So, and that sucker's lasted 10 years without even a hint of it bending or bowing. Okay, okay, so that's the construction materials. Now remember, I'm going to be able to cannibalize my table, any additional pieces of wood or structures, cabinets or whatever in there, the drawers and the cabinets, I can actually take from the desk and add it to my new desk and make what's called a Frankenstein desk. Okay, so you guys can see. Two other useful items that I did get. I got some Elmer's wood glue, not a whole bunch. I don't think I'm going to need a whole bunch, but this is mainly to glue the wood to the wood as I'm using the screws to screw in the wood. Basically, it's like I'm going to use screws and glue for all the wood so that it'll be super secure. Now I'm using number 6. I'm using number 6 screws because number 8s seemed like they were just a little bit too thick for me. Now this is done. This was eyeballed. I eyeballed it, but you can kind of see that these are number 6s. They're wood screws, and I went with 1 3/4 inch because remember, this wood here, a lot of the screws are going to be going directly through the wood into the legs or into the supports or into the side panels, which you'll see when I go to construct it. So, so it's basically almost everything's going to go through a layer of MDF board and into some other piece of wood. And so that means you need to get at least 3/4 inch to get through the MDF, right? And there's your 3/4, and then 1 extra inch beyond. So you got that 1 inch past the MDF that goes into the other piece of wood. Okay, so there should be super secure. And Blue Hawk, you get 75 of these for like $3. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then the last thing, okay, well actually it's not the last thing, but you'll notice that paint or finishing is going to be an issue because MDF it looks okay the way it is, and it's smooth. Doesn't even need to be sanded. This thing is like completely flat and smooth. I mean, it's slick actually. You know, you don't need to stain it, because if you stain it, what are you getting? Nothing. You're loosening it. You're making it worse actually, because this is MDF. If you're familiar with MDF, it's kind of a press board in a way, but it's super premium press, and there's no wood grain. As you can see, there is no wood grain in this, and if you go to stain it, you're not going to get any enhanced wood grain or anything. Now I understand that if you stain the 4x4s, yeah, you'll get the stain look and everything out of the 4x4s. But guess what? You're not going to see very many 4x4s, or you're only going to see maybe a foot of the 4x4 sticking out from the bottom of the side skirts of the desk. So all you're going to see is MDF on the side skirts and MDF on the top of the desk. So what do? Well, one of two things, or both things, because I'm doing both. You either paint it, which I'm going to paint it. I'm going to paint it white first because it's gonna soak up some paint. Okay, it's going to want to soak up a layer of paint, and then I'll paint it whatever color I'm going to be using, which most likely is I'm going to go with I don't know what color I'm going to use. I don't know. We'll have to see that when I make the video, and that might be an after action video because I'm going to make this thing first and I'm going to paint it last. So okay, so we got this thing created, and I'm painting it. Okay, the top doesn't need to get painted. The top doesn't need to get painted because I've got something special for you guys. Okay? I've got something special for you guys when it comes to the countertop. You notice how this is just wood grain. Now over time, that sucker, I mean, I've had that probably, hell, I don't know. Shoot. Let me actually think about when we got that. We got that before we were on that street. I would have had it before we were on that street. $20 years, maybe somewhere around 18 or 20 years. I've had this desk. Okay, yeah, and it's still holding in. The bottoms of it are starting to get a little dry rotted. Some not dry rot, wet rot, like it's gotten wet from floods or whatever. Because actually, I had this in my store. I don't know if those of you that know that I had a game store and it flooded at one point, and I had like 6 inches of water, standing water in my game store, and this desk happened to be in that game store. Hell, if I had this in my game store, then hell, this thing's over 20 years old. This thing's over 20 years old, man, and it's still working. Okay, but so whoever made this, they did a good job when they put it together. But here's what I wanted to show you. On the top of this thing, it's starting to peel. It's starting to come apart. It's starting to get really dirty and dingy, and I can't clean it. It's like you go to clean it and dirt doesn't come off. Okay, so it's like dirt's been ground into the wood grain or whatever. So that's fine. This is what I'm going to do. I went out and got floor tiles. Okay, these are from Lowe's. It's their floor tiles, and I think they were like 88 cents a piece. They come in 1 foot by 1 foot tiles. They have all different patterns and shapes, so you can pick and choose and get the right pattern that's perfect for you. But I picked these right here because if you get a really close look at these, okay, these tiles, you're going to see these things. Oh, the light's not really hitting it just right. Let's see what we got here. I don't want it the glare or whatever we go all over it. But if you take a close look at that, right, what that is it's what's the word I'm thinking of? It feels a lot like leather. I mean, it's like a leather covering. Okay, it's not perfectly smooth, but it is smooth. It's got a little bit of a texture to it, like a leather texture. And you get 20 of these. Okay, you get 20 tiles in a box. I mean, you can buy them individually, one at a time if you want. But I bought a box of 20 because I said, what the hell, you know? And what I'm going to do is, just like my computer desk here, I'm not going to do it on this computer desk, but you get the idea. What I'm going to do is lay tile, okay, on the top of my computer desk. And these are going to be floor tiles that I'm laying down, you know, on my computer desk, and that's going to give that top a very leathery look, feel, and it's going to protect the wood, and it's basically, they're peel and stick tiles. I mean, you look at the tile, you know, it's got this little peel and stick on it. You just pull it back and stick it in. That's what she said? No. It's got that. And that'll be one of my final steps, is I'll put this on, and the only thing you'll see wood-wise is some panels around the edges, you know, there, and you probably won't even see those. And then this will be down low. Super easy. Super easy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do a little work on penciling things in, and that'll be part 2 of the video, because I guess I'm going to break this up into 3 videos, maybe 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have like an explanation of what's going to happen. That's this first video. I'm going to do a preparation of the wood and where I'm going to cut and things like that. That's part 2. And then part 3 is the actual cutting and maybe part 3 is cutting and assembling. Maybe part 4 is painting and sticking on the stickers, something like that. All right, well, thanks for coming out and checking out this first video on my peripherals. First chapter, I should say. First video of the first chapter of the Peripherals for Star Citizen. And yes, I know, I'm a fanboy. I'm creating a computer desk specifically for one game, okay? But if you play MechWarrior Online, or if you play PlanetSide 2, or if you play, what's that other game that they're playing over there? Warframe, or if you play any of these other games, Call of Duty, or any of them, this desk will work perfect for you, because it'll be all the desk is just completely flat gaming surface that you can put your joystick on, you can put your keyboard, you can put your mouse on. You know, this will be perfect mouse pad itself. I mean, but I'm still gonna have a mouse pad, but you don't even need it because of the texture that that's got. So you got the perfect gaming surface. Monitors are going to be at the perfect height because I'm going to make the height of the thing perfect. It's not like this computer desk right now. For those of you that don't know, it's about 5 inches too tall for me, right? And the main reason why that is because the keyboard is about 5 inches down on a drawer. Well, I'm going to make my new computer desk about 1 or 2 inches taller than this drawer. So it's going to be at the right height. It's going to be the right size to protect the computer and allow airflow back there because of the air. Now, if your house is different and built and shaped differently, of course, you're going to build your computer desk differently. You know, if you've only got 1 foot across, then that's what you're going to have to deal with. You know, some people were taking the monitors, mounting them directly on the wall. I thought that was pretty cool. That's a good idea. Screw that. Okay, because what if I ever want to move the computer desk or something? Huh? I have to unscrew them from the wall and blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, all right, and plus by taking this hutch down and lowering it, what it's going to allow me to do is I'm actually going to be able to move those swords because I don't like them where they are above my computer desk. This is all my personal junk. What I'm planning on doing is moving those over here under these right here, and then putting 2 or 4 masterpieces up there, paintings. You know, Napoleonic paintings or what have you. Okay, so come back and check out next video. Peace.